Welcome everybody to the In the Pits News Truck Series 2022 Season 1 season opener at Daytona International Speedway. I'm Josh Copperl. I'm joined in the booth by Adam Kuhn tonight, and we've got a special driver analyst joining us on the pre-race show, Nick Dornick.
Hey there.
Nick, how are you doing tonight?
I'm feeling quite refreshed, happy to be back in the driver's seat. Hopefully, we're going to show ourselves good out for the season opener.
I definitely can't forget about asking you, Adam. How are you doing? It's been a while since we've been in the booth together, but here we are tonight, Daytona.
Yeah, it's great to be back here in the booth tonight at Daytona, and we're excited to get the season kicked off. And it's great to be back with you, like I mentioned, Josh. And we got a lot of races this year, and it should be fun. And it's great to have Nick up here with us tonight, joining us for the pre-race show.
Well, we got some important things to go over before we, get the action started off tonight. First of all, the Season 2 format and rules. And we got a chase this season. 8 drivers are going to make the chase. A little bit different. It's not a win and you're in. It's kind of like the old NASCAR format, if you guys remember that. So that's something to look out for. 4 chase races being Bristol, Phoenix, Martinsville, and Kansas. All 4 different, distinct tracks, which is going to be amazing. We have a stage. So that's really going to throw things in a loop, in the middle of these races. 25% is when the stage is going to be. That's different. These guys did not have the stage last year. Nick, before we get any further, Nick, I'm curious because you are going to be in the race tonight. What's it going to be like out there? What do you think it's going to be like, especially from your perspectives? Once we get to close to, looks like lap 25 tonight, when our stage is going to be, how are you going to play it out? Do you want those stage points? Do you want to be in the top 6 to get those points, or are you going to play a little bit more conservative tonight?
I think it's all going to come down to how the attitude of the drivers are from the get-go. Most teams, most drivers are returning from last season. So I remember a few of them for the most part, but with super speedway racing, plate racing, and being the season opener, it could just be a complete a wildfire in the first 25 laps. So I guess my answer is I don't know. I would love to be up front, but it's definitely going to be a play by ear. Maybe maybe the next Super Speedway race will have a better and more definitive answer for you.
Well, Adam, you and I, we're going to be up in the booth, but kind of what are you expecting? Do you expect to see drivers, realize, hey, the stage is coming? We're going to see, maybe drivers come from the back to get up there to get some stage points.
Oh, absolutely. The key number we're going to talk about a lot this season, coming to the 25% mark of these races, is top 6, because those are the points-paying positions, and everyone's going to want to be in those spots, get an advantage over the competition when you can, especially early in the race. And that's the whole point of the stages, to reward drivers for doing good early on, and a little bit of a bonus if you can lead early on.
Something, something else to talk about. Let's bring the rules back up. We got the choose cone that is back. Boundaries much clearer this season than last season. Um, we will see the choose cone rule in effect tonight at Daytona. Something NASCAR doesn't do, but it is something that the Olympic News Truck Series does, is choose cone at Daytona and Talladega. iRating cap of 4,000. So iRacing have this thing called an iRating, and your iRating is determined on how well of a driver you are. A lot of the pros on iRacing, their iRatings are high, 6, 7, 8,000s. these drivers here, all of them are under 4,000, and it's to help keep the racing competitive. Nick, curious, what is the biggest change that stands out the most to you from last season to this season?
I think the biggest change is definitely the chase format, especially with the top 6 in points being the ones that will lock in, and then you have the potential wild cards from people that might catch a win uh, to get themselves in for another spot. I think that's going to play a huge role for any of the part-time drivers. It might give them a sense of wanting to show up more if they can get that one win, just secure their position status coming into the final races of the season. Asides that, really, it's almost like we're picking up right from last season. We got Radius, we got Vortex, we got Short Bus Long Distance, the main 3 teams that kind of showed up throughout most of the season. I do believe there is a lineup change in the Radius and Vortex camp.
Yeah, actually, there is a little bit of a difference for sure. You are part of Radius. One of the biggest differences that we will notice is Alonso Chocano. Alonso was with Radius last season. He's going to be with Vortex this season. Now, Vortex and Radius, they are, connected, kind of like the main team and the satellite team, if you will. So it is where the drivers still kind of will be a part of a team, but under 2 different brands. And these drivers, like the Vortex drivers and the Radius drivers, they're not going to have communications during the race. So the Vortex drivers will be talking with the Vortex drivers. Radius drivers will be talking with the Radius drivers.
Yeah, I agree. It'll definitely be a little different, given both teams now more evenly separated than last season. Especially when you put the number 1 and number 2 drivers of last season on 2 different squads, we're gonna really see who is capable of rallying up better finishes together. There might be more strategy on one side of the fence more than the other. So I'm excited personally. I'm glad to be part of the Radius Racing squad for this season. Hopefully, we'll be victorious for that. But who knows? We're going to find out after these first couple races where the team championship stands.
Yeah, last season Radius Racing, of course, took the Drivers' Championship, the Teams' Championship, but also took 3 of the top 4 in the final Drivers' standings. So a big change getting Alonso Chocano on the Vortex Racing squad this season, paired with the 2 Duran brothers and Dakota Knoll this season.
And I do just want to quickly point out a little bit off topic is there is a little bit of technical difficulties. That's why you guys are seeing a logo and not what's going on the track. Getting that fixed real quick. You guys will see action, at least practicing action, here very shortly. But let's actually talk with last season's champion, Cameron Caldwell. Hey Cam, it's Josh up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, hey, you're the reigning champion, starting the season off tonight at Daytona. What's it going to take to, well, not only start your season off right, but make sure to start it off in a way that helps define this season and help you go back to back?
Well, I think it's just staying out of the wrecks and getting a nice finish. Last season, I did pretty much that. I stayed in the back for most of the race, didn't really mix it up at all until the end. And it went green for a while, I remember, and my teammates and I, we kind of just ran together. And at the end, there was a decent crash, and I made it through and got second out of it. So hope to do one better tonight, but I think the biggest thing is just finish and get a nice start to the points for the season.
what is the strategy tonight? Knowing that, you know, tonight it is Daytona, anything can happen. You gonna go out there and give it all you can early on, or hang back and let the action unfold in front of you?
I haven't quite decided yet. With Daytona, you can make all these plans, and then as soon as the green flag drops, they all go out the window. So I haven't really decided yet, just kind of to feel it out, see how everyone else is racing. The trucks seem to be a little bit on the looser side, a little bit squirrely. So I might take it easy for a little while, but we have that stage at lap 25, so that will definitely play a factor in how people are racing. So we'll see. I haven't quite decided yet, but it could be up there. Maybe we can hang in the back. Not sure. Just want to be there at the end.
Alrighty. We'll let you get back up in there. And good luck in the race tonight.
Thanks.
That was Cameron Caldwell, last season's champion. Practice is winding down. Nick, we got a couple more things to talk about with you. One sponsorship that you have this season is JCTV. So we are on board with you, at least as associate sponsor, and going to be on the truck as primary for a few races this season.
Yeah, we will. It'll be definitely an honor to represent the JCTV crew from up in the booth during pre-race and especially down on track. I'm hoping that we'll have some better luck than we did the last time we changed paints over. It'll be time to remove some of the curses and maybe get a win in it here.
You got anything, Adam, for Nick before we let him get up in there and get ready to race?
Sure, I guess. Nick, you ran a pretty solid race here in this race a year ago, but you got caught up in that crash on the last lap. What do you think you can do differently to try and survive it to the checker this time?
I think the difference is I gotta try and lead more than one lap. We gotta push up a little bit further. I'm gonna try and test the waters a little bit more with, especially because I have Radius to help me out with team pushing, but we got some of these new rookies out here donning the new paint scheme. I'm sure that'll be brought up shortly to maybe test out how they drive. I got a chance to race a little bit with Wesley just in practice, and it seems like maybe even the truck itself might have a little bit of characteristics that have been changing and not getting the same draft as it once was. So I think this race has become more of a wild card than I anticipated.
All right, well, good luck to you, and we'll see you out there. And maybe we'll talk to you later.
Hopefully it's in the victory lane rather than busting off in the ambulance. All right, best of luck.
That was Nick Dornick. Going to see him out on track tonight, driver of the 63. Practice is winding down, Adam. Who is your pick to win tonight?
I'm gonna kind of go with a wild card here. We saw him run pretty well at Talladega before being involved in a few accidents. Hasn't made too many starts here in the series, so I'll go with the number 42 of Michael Kruger. Ran pretty solid Talladega, like I mentioned. So we'll see what he can do tonight. Similar track, obviously.
Oh man, I like that pick a lot, and it's not just because he has the number 42. I think Kruger is somebody that we can see will be a competitor. I am actually going to go with Alexander Kerfan. He is consistent time and time again, and he's proven he can win. I think Kerfan, he's got the right team. They're going to have the right strategy, and I think Kerfan get that 30 truck to victory lane. As qualifying happens, JCTV pole. qualifying. You see Dawson Allen is the first truck out there, and one thing to note is the fact that he is running the bottom on his get up to speed lap, and that is not very common with these drivers. They like to run the wall, so I'm actually really shocked to see Dawson Allen run the bottom here.
Well, pretty much every driver is going to have a different agenda in this qualifying session, I believe, Josh. Some drivers are just kind of just logging laps just because you got the time to. Some are actually going for the pole, get the top spot, you know, get a little rewards for it, you know, bonus, you know, get the JCT pole like you mentioned, get that extra point possibly to getting the overall championship in that category. And some guys aren't even going to qualify at all and just start out bad. Qualifying don't matter too much here, as we see almost every race here. So a lot of different strategies in this qualifying session, I believe.
And it looks like Dawson Allen is actually going to bring it down pit road. He's not even going to take a time. Looking here at the 4 truck, actually, JCTV has a racing team now. JCTV Racing. Driver number 4, Joseph Lester, he is a part of the team. One thing you will notice right on the bat is, kind of saw it just a little bit there, is yellow stickers on the back of the truck. New this season is rookies have to run those stickers, and it's one reason I actually came to Joseph Lester was to show those stickers on the back of the truck. We will see them here as he goes around. Start-finish line, you do see them on the back, so that'll be on all the rookie truck drivers, just like we see there on the 4, who currently sits P2.
And it's exciting seeing fresh faces in the series. We got some of the rookies returning back who made a few starts, like you see on the leaderboard Noah Mayuri, who we saw impressed very much in the season finale at Homestead, Miami. Couldn't come away with the win, but he's qualifying out there. Like here is our defending champ, Cam Caldwell. We saw Alonso Chocano taking in time. He won this race a year ago.
Chocano currently sitting P3. Cameron Caldwell crossing the line for his first lap. And that's going to put Caldwell currently P5, 4/10 off of Nick Warnick's time, who currently sits top of the charts in the JCTV qualifying. And one thing to note there is last season we did the JCTV qualifying award as well. Tom Bourne actually took home the most poles in the season, and he won a $50 bonus, and that is back. So whoever wins the pole tonight, currently Nick Dornick in the number 1 spot, they're going to be on the right track to claiming that award. Caldwell finishes his second lap, and he is currently P7.
Another rookie here, Justin Duran. To the top on his lap, though.
Justin Durant really wanting that pole to start the season off right. Durant is the last driver on the track at the moment. There are a lot of drivers that have not taken a time, so we're only going to see 9 drivers at the time. So, Justin Durant is your JCTV Pole Award winner for tonight. Nick Dornick starting second. Noah Mayuri third. Joseph Lester fourth. And Alexander Kerfan will start fifth.
Brett Bennett's going to line up 6th. Michael Kruger 7th. Alonso Chocano, like I mentioned, won this race. Last season, he starts 8th. Cam Caldwell, the reigning champion, 9th. And Carl Felver rounds out the top 10. He was the first truck who did not qualify.
David Durand will start 11th with Dalton Kelly to his outside. In 12th, Brian C. Smith, 13th. Andrew Elias, 14th. And Daniel Saponsky in 15th.
Talladega winner from last season, Tyler Watermullen, starts 16th and is 68. Wesley Rose makes his debut in 17th, and Dawson Allen rounds out the grid in 18th.
Dawson Allen is going to be the in-race reporter under cautions. If we get cautions, that is, we'll pull Dawson Allen in, have a little chat with him, see how his race is going. One thing to note is, you may think, what are you talking about, Josh? We are going to have cautions. We're only guaranteed one caution. That's the stage break at lap 25. Another thing to note is, Adam, this race only had 2 cautions last season. So it is very possible that, we're only going to have that one caution. That will be the stage break. Otherwise, these guys could keep it green all the way throughout the rest of the race.
Yeah, like you just mentioned, Josh, pretty clean race last season up until the last lap, so got a little bigger field, I believe, this year than we did last year, but still, we new crop of drivers in here a little bit, and some returning faces. Trucks start to roll off the pit road here. We'll see what's going on here tonight.
And a couple of C2 Graphics trucks are out front. I've noticed something here, Adam. What I'm noticing here is the man that owns and designs for C2 Graphics, Cameron Caldwell, isn't in the ITPN News Truck Series scheme. 2 of his trucks that have a sponsor on them are up front. What's going on with that?
It's pretty funny though, but shows how much speed these guys got and how close they all were in qualifying. They're all pretty tight there out of those who did take a time.
And these drivers, they are all on fixed sets. So everybody has the same setup under their truck. And so it's really just about driver and how well the driver qualifies. Cam, he's not one we typically see up front at these kind of races anyway. We did ask him, what his strategy was. I didn't expect him to really be truthful with us. No driver's going to tell us their strategy. But, he's kind of right there in the middle. Be interesting to see if he does drop to the back or try to get up to the front right away. The base truck is coming down pit road. And green flag is in the air. Justin Duran leads us to the green. And immediately, he actually gets clear of the outside. Not quite. Nick Dornick is going to get a run on the outside with help from the 4 of Joseph Lester.
Organized start up front. We see the 42 Michael Kruger dropping below the yellow line. He's going to the rear on the opening lap. But Noah Mayer is going to push Justin Duran back out in front of Nick Dornick for the race lead. They're going to be equal apart again at the end of the back straight though, Josh.
And I expect that outside lane to have a little bit of momentum on the exit of the corner and help Dornick a little bit get right there even with the 20 of Justin Duran. But Noah Mayer, he is doing a great job pushing Justin Duran on the bottom lane.
Duran from the pole is going to lead the first lap of the season. So that's a bonus point for him there, and he's going to be clear of that top lane if he wishes to take it, but he's going to keep getting a push from Noah Mayer on that bottom lane.
And Noah Mayer, he's not a teammate, whereas 63 and the 30 are, at least with kind of through the same organization. I believe Justin is one of those Vortex racing drivers, though. See in the back, Alonso Chocano. He looked like he was gonna. I'm sorry, that's Alexander Kerfan. Nope, that was Alonso Chocano. Jumped to the outside. Looked like he was gonna come back to the inside. Right back out there. Now he's got help on the outside with the number 15 of Carl Felver.
Got a lot of momentum going. It looked like Griffin wanted to top it, but he just couldn't get there, going through 1 and 2. So a lot of momentum going towards that top side here down the back, and Noah Mayuri steps out of line here. So it's going to give Alexander Griffin to the back bumper of Justin Duran now.
Noah Mayuri, he's in the grass a little bit. He's staying on the apron. I'm not exactly sure what happened to his truck, but he is not attempting to get back on the racing surface at all. And he's lost a ton of time now, so the only thing that's going to help Noah Mayuri is having caution come out.
Oh, Felvo scored as the leader here with a quick counter on the top side. He's won quite a few races a season ago, but every race he's done, he's looked pretty strong, and here he is once again up front. I know it's early, but he's got a fast truck right there with Chocano's truck right tucked up underneath.
The bottom lane doing such a great job trying to stay together with the curb fan. Great on the bumper of Duran. That outside lane is a little bit more organized than the bottom. But you got about 4 trucks right there packed together in each lane with it's like Kruger just behind him.
Duran was clear for that top spot, exiting too, but Felver was able to get such a good push from Chocano down the back straightaway. They were equal, and now Felver has the advantage going into 3 for a moment.
You know what I noticed was entering the turn there in turn 3, Kerfan and Duran kind of got the apron a little bit. I'm wondering if it's that Kerfan and Duran were maybe looking in their mirror a little bit, not really paying attention to what was in front of them. And it did help them, or hurt them, scrub speed lines, which kind of helped Carl Felver a little bit there, but Duran and Kerfan stay right there, side by side with the outside lane. You can really tell behind 42 of Kruger, you know, who's trying to take it easy. We saw Kruger go to the back, and he's right back here in 9th place. And he's not really gaining anything, and I don't think he's pushing it. I think he's just letting these guys go 2 by 2 by 2 by 2, and he's just hanging back, letting them do their thing. He doesn't want to push it or risk anything.
Oh, absolutely, Josh. It's lap 7 of 25 in the stage. Only the top 6 get points. He's running 9th. What's the sense of pushing it and getting in harm's way so early in this run? You know, you could get a caution before then, the way they're racing up front. Why put your truck in danger and wreck out for 6 stage points, possibly, at the most? So, and you see that just only 8 trucks there in that lead draft really running 2 by 2 up there, you know, and really finding each other positions here as we onboard the 42 truck riding around the night.
Ooh. 25 truck. Alonso Chocano.
Yeah, it's really going to wad these guys way up here into turn 3.
Carl Felver, he's dropping back. Now they're all single file, and it's just a matter of small move like that. Wow. That is the 24 of David Duran. Jumped out there with Nick Dornick and Joseph Lester. Lester went back down to the bottom, so now it's only 2 drivers in David Duran and Nick Dornick on the outside.
What happened on the backstretch a lap ago was a classic Daytona checkup. Something happened between Chocano and Felver disrupted all that energy. They had to check up, and they kind of got side by side, so it kind of ruined the momentum they all had. And it just completely ruined the outside lane. They had to get reorganized on the bottom. And you see here, the top's getting reorganized now with Brett Bennett blocking that top lane, trying to move forward up on Alexander Griffin and get Justin Durand running 1-2.
I think David Durand actually wanted to take 3 wide, just didn't have the momentum. Nick Dornick tucks in behind the 15 of Carl Felver.
Yeah, and you see David Durand is not committed to pushing the 47. They just did not get to the rear bumper of him, whether that was by choice or disruption of the truck. It definitely looked like by choice, because he's dropped all the way back to this pack with Kruger and Caldwell now.
And David Durand, he actually kind of squeezed the gap right in front of Kruger, the 42 truck. Now Durand going back up high to help out teammate Cameron Caldwell. And Caldwell with a huge shove. We got to spin to the back. It is the 42 of Michael Kruger. He saves it.
He saved it.
79 of, is that Dalton Kelly? Dawson Allen, rather. I'm sorry. He did an incredible save as well.
And now Nick Dornick's really slow. He's got like a really big, something happened. Chicano's damaged and he's real slow. Well, Laputi was damaged. He was really slow though through the tri-oval.
And he does have a lot of damage on the left side of his truck. I'm not sure if we will be able to get a replay of what happened. We will try.
A bunch of simultaneous things occurred at once, I believe, Josh. We couldn't really see it all at once, and on the left side damage on the 25 truck. I believe what happened with the 42 was a result of what happened with Chocano up the road. It looked like the 42 jammed the brakes. He got hit by the 80, who was slowing down for Chocano up ahead, maybe. Because that's when we saw Caldwell dive on the apron. It kind of looked like they were reacting to something up ahead, but bunch of kind of a mess off of turn 4 with the pack. But we stay under green.
The 80 of Wesley Rose is in pit road just on lap 12. The whole field is spread out right now. We've got 5 drivers here with, I believe, Daniel Saponsky in the back a little bit, just behind, trying to stay in. Joseph Lester strapped. Meanwhile, way behind them, you've got this pack here, led by David Durand. And then this pack, led by the 54. So Carl Felver just dropped from 15th to 6th, and right now, the way things stand is all the stage points are going to go to these guys right here. As long as these guys stay green and keep it going, this is going to be your stage right here. As far as what order, we don't know. But at the moment, all these drivers are guaranteed stage points.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see if they just run all the way to the last lap of this stage and duke it for themselves to see who gets what points, or they just kind of start fighting for it now and allow these other guys to close in. See a little movement with Joseph Lester there in 3rd riding around. He wants to drag a little bit back off those top 2 and maybe get a run on him here.
Joseph Lester, he actually has no teammates in this race, so he's just trying to find somebody that will work with him. Currently, he is lone from his team. And Daniel Sponsky, he is a newcomer, making his first start tonight.
And maybe we should emphasize newcomer because he joined about an hour before race grid in the Discord I saw. So almost the last minute entry there, but he's running up front right now when it matters. He's gonna score points here definitely in the stage as long as he keeps it clean in this pack.
Now you've got the top two, nose to tail. Everybody else about a truck length in between them. Number 8 truck, Noah Mayuri, he's going a lap down, staying all the way to the outside at the wall. And we see Daniel Sponsky going up high. Joseph Lester looked like he wanted to go up with him, but they stay at the bottom.
Yeah, but all these guys behind the top two, Justin Duran and Alexander Kofan, they look like they're trying to create energy, and here you see momentum coming on the outside between two trucks they're going to shuffle Joseph Lester out. It's Brett Bennett and Daniel Sapowski here. But all this is doing is letting those top two get separated from these guys if they keep running like this side by side with a little bit of side draft going on.
I'm not so sure if they're really going to be able to get any momentum going to try to get up there. They're struggling right now. Lester is struggling to get back to the 30 truck of Alexander Kerfan. But I think if Lester gets up there, which he is now, that's only going to help the bottom. Noah Mayuri, lap truck in tow. He's looking to the outside. Mayuri is trying to stay with them and possibly get a lucky dog at the stage break.
Big moment there, lapping Nick Dornick there with the pack going around the 63 truck. He was low on the apron, and some guys almost didn't see him. And you see Joseph Lester's going to take huge advantage of that with a huge push from behind. Daniel Sapowski going to the front, and they clear the 30 of Alexander Cookman really quick as Justin Duran goes all the way to the back of his pack.
So new leader, it is Joseph Lester in number 4, Florida State University Toyota. And one thing to note is Joseph Lester is actually going to run a different college every single week to go with what state they're in. So Daytona's in Florida. He's running Florida State tonight. Next week it'll be different. We see in the back Justin Duran trying to get some energy on the outside with a little bit of help, but not anymore as he's out there on his own.
Well, now he's linked up with the Radius Vortex teammate here. Now they got a third truck in line, so they're going to challenge Joseph Lester for this top spot already.
Now Joseph Lester, he's just hoping that Daniel Sponsky stay right on his bumper, but everybody has gone to the outside, so now it's just Lester and Sponsky on the bottom. As I say that, 47, Brett Bennett goes down to the bottom, as well as everybody else, leaving Kerfan and Duran on the outside.
Yeah, it was a little weird that everyone kind of just bailed on those guys like that when they seemed to be faster, but maybe they thought it'd be a lot easier to pass Joseph Lester on the last lap of the stage. See Sapowski trying to peek out on that Ford truck, just trying to get a little bit of clean air in front of his truck and just help his drive a little bit better racing side by side like this on the bottom. And see, he's going to try to almost hit on the inside of the Ford, almost force it 3 wide. That could have been a huge moment there.
Great job not forcing it 3 wide, and it's looking real crazy out there. I know if I'm any one of these drivers, I'm white knuckle driving right now. They are driving it hard. They know that stage is coming. Like I said, all 6 of them are guaranteed stage points. It's just a matter of what position you're going to get, how many points you're going to get, and every single one of them want the position that Joseph Lester is in, and that's P1.
Well, the key thing is guaranteed stage points. If they make it, they got an 11-second gap out back. They just need to not wreck. And it's been close a few times, but they're 3 by 2 like this, and could be an exciting battle all the way to the last lap here of the stage.
All they have to do is not wreck. Well, that's easier said than done. These drivers, they are slicing and dicing. And the outside Radius Vortex guys, they are almost clear of Lester. And actually, Kerfan's going to pull down. Lester goes on, and they're wrecking.
There it is.
Carl
one truck
Felver.
way out. Felver goes out of the ballpark and shoots back in with a huge flip. Tremendous crash, and that was the danger. They all wadded up at once, and that was the difficult part of this. And you see right back to the pits immediately for the 15th truck. And there's the mangled 4.
Wow. '20 is down at pit road. Tough break for Justin Duran. Let's take a look and see what happened. We see Kerfan comes down. I'm thinking, wondering if Lester maybe got a little bit tight, came up, or if there was maybe a shot from behind with Daniel Saponsky into Lester. Drivers are coming down pit road, led by Alexander Kerfan. And everybody is coming down pit road here. Number 8 of Noah Mary, he stays out to take his lucky dog. .30 truck of Alexander Kerfan will win the race off pit road. And it's not really much of a competition behind him.
I believe he maintained a pretty big gap of a lead entering the pit lane, though.
David ran a little bit of rear end damage. Will be second. Dawson Allen will be third here. Well, this is going to be the stage. We just got official word from the admin's race control. So Alexander Kerfan is the stage winner. The rest of the lineup, I'm not 100% sure about. I believe Lester got second. We will have to find that out. Our in-race reporter of Dawson Allen doesn't look like he is available to do an interview.
stands right now, he runs third on the racetrack, so got through that accident there, and now he's got 75 laps, or less than about 75 laps to go, and focus ahead for the what could be a very long run to the finish here with all those trucks torn up out of the race with a much smaller pack, so we'll see what happens here.
Stage 1 is complete of the gigantic JL4 My Fat Dad 250 at Daytona International Speedway. And that is a band. You can check them out. Music. As mentioned earlier, we will have the choose rule in effect. Here is the choose rule graphic. It's just before the start-finish line. Help make things a little bit easier. And we see our top two choose the bottom. Dawson Allen choosing the top. Cameron Caldwell will take the bottom. Tyler Watermolen top. Michael Kruger bottom. Brett Bennett with the top. Joseph Lester choosing the bottom.
Yeah, no surprise to see those three on the bottom get lined up like that, of course, with the Radius Vortex affiliations down there, so could be a very organized restart on the bottom for them, but we'll see what the outside can put up here with Dawson Allen and Tyler Watermolen out there. Watermolen, of course, won Talladega, a couple months ago in the the inaugural season.
Well, Adam, you're talking about the bottom three drivers being Vortex Radius. What about the top four drivers? The four trucks on the top, 79, 68, 47, and 54. All of them are a part of a team as well. So you got the first three rows, all teammates.
Yeah, SBLD, we've seen them work together at Talladega. That's what won Watermolen in that race ultimately. He had a push from Dawson Allen, I believe, that gave him that win after a bunch of chaos ensued in the final laps. Crazy finish that was for him to get his first career win. So we'll see if they can work together here against the Radius guys. Got more numbers right now on this restart, but long way to go in this race. We just saw a big crash. We'll see if cooler heads prevail here.
And the pace truck is in. Kurt Fan hits the loud pedal. We're back under green. The outside really did not get going. I'm telling you, this Radius Vortex guys, they all got a great jump.
You know, the best start for the SBOD guys, you see Dawson Allen tucked in line behind Michael Kruger while Tyler Watermolen still running the outside along with Brian C. Smith. Now they kind of jumbo out back there, try to get all organized, single file in the back. See one truck out front, that is Michael Kruger all by himself on the outside while the top three continue to push themselves away.
And Kruger hops down to the bottom lane just behind Caldwell and now Allen looking to the outside, trying to hook up with his teammates. Joseph Lester making some noise, trying to get back up there. Being involved in that wreck, and I'm actually really shocked. His truck still looks fairly clean after being involved in that accident. Kind of right in the center of things.
Knocked it out quite a few times, but he's still going and lucky not to take such a flush shot like Justin Durand, and lucky he didn't fly off the space like poor Carl Felver, so he's able to keep on going.
And Wesley Rose is 7 laps down. Carl Felver is out of the race. Daniel Sponsky and Justin Durand are down pit road. Nick Dornick 1 lap down. Everybody else is still running on track. For Nick Dornick, he is off pace, being pushed by Wesley Rose. That red truck behind.
I believe whatever happened to him was same time Chocano picked up his damage. That they kind of seemed to both lose pace at the same time, so it looks like it's going to be an issue all night for that 63 truck, unfortunately.
These drivers gotta take things calm. You do see a little bit of too wide racing, but giving each other a lot of room as, wow. Alonso Chocano got a little bit squirrely there, entering one. Keep it on the bottom. Great shot, and you see that yellow truck all the way down below the apron. That's Andrew Elias running back there.
Pretty solid end to his season a year ago. Good momentum towards the end of the year. So he's just running in last in line, as you mentioned, Josh, just trying to wait for the end of the race as a challenge up front. David, Durant pokes out front, gets back in line. That might have been accidental the way he was left back in line by his teammate there.
And I'm kind of surprised at that. And if that was, not a teammate behind him, I think that hole would have closed. And now they are going, wow. David Durant, Cameron Caldwell, they are 3 wide, and I don't think that is at all what they wanted to do.
No, they fanned out, and when they fanned out, the rest of the field kind of attacked them, and it's kind of really made a huge mess. Now David's kind of stuck on the top with no help. He's falling all the way to the back, while Caldwell's going to get a push from the lead, from Chocano. He tucks back to the bottom. Chocano and him are side by side now.
And where did Chocano come from? Chocano leading the outside lane. He's got help from Brett Bennett behind. And right now it's just only those 2 trucks on the outside lane.
As soon as all that energy moved from the bottom and scrambled all over the place, the sooner it goes all the way back into one spot, and Chocano and Bennett are going to be falling all the way to the back here soon, quickly, if they don't get help fast. They got the 24 to maybe help them, but it might not be enough compared to the 10 or so trucks they got on the bottom lane.
And now we have some drivers moving up, so now you got 5 on the top, 5 down on the bottom.
Even at the line, too, that was pretty close between Caldwell and Chocano for that lap led. This looks a lot like last season, Josh. 12 and the 25 going at it. And the 25 is going to be clear into turn 1 with a huge push from Brett Bennett.
I don't know how Alonso does it. With that damage to the front of his truck, I didn't think he'd be able to drive this thing up front. He did. He's up there. And he's saying, you know what? We're tied in points now. And I'm going to run away with this thing. I'm not letting you get another one from me. Oh, real tight there is Alonso. Maybe went to the outside a little bit. Almost getting into the side of Brett Bennett. He is looking loose and tight all at the same time. He's having his hands full with that truck.
Yeah, these guys are really going at it. They're going to be very lucky if these trucks are going to be surviving on lap 99 the way they're driving right now. But this is all part of the show, Josh, and I'm sure they're having a little bit of fun with it, and I'm having fun watching it for now.
Something to note here is with those top 6, you've got 4 of them being Radius and Vortex Racing drivers. The other 2, Short Bus Long Distance, JTTV Racing. And that 4 and the 47 are working real well together. But I'm curious here if Lester's able to get the 47 in front. he's going to go down, and he actually does, leaving Lester on the outside. So now it's only Lester and David Duran on the outside.
Yeah, Brett Bennett led that lap. As you mentioned, as soon as he got clear from that push from Lester, he was able to take it to the bottom and clear Chocano for that top spot down low. But now Lester with a push from David Duran, there he's challenging for the lead, and now they're kind of scrambling all over the place again.
And I think these drivers, they're like, all right, one of us lost the lead, so we're going to do what we can to get the lead back. And right away, David Duran takes the lead. Now Joseph Lester, second truck on the bottom. That was pretty tight. Duran left the hole. Lester almost took it. That was pretty tight.
Yeah, almost a scary moment through the trioval, and that is the narrowest part of this track, of course, and where we see a lot of accidents, especially when it comes to bump drafting and this kind of blocks, or just the way the trucks carry themselves, and that's the lightest they move on around this entire racetrack.
The outside, Alonso Chocano.
Man, he pushes everywhere.
Chocano to the bottom. Here comes Kruger with a couple of short bus long distance guys behind.
Yeah, 42 with Kruger. He was able to give Chocano that lead back, and he led that lap clear to the bottom with David Duran. And now the 42 is coming back with a huge push from, that is 44, Andrew Elias right behind him, that bright yellow truck, of course.
Andrew Elias.
Stacking up for a second.
Andrew Elias always having a new scheme every week that something interesting, some kind of interesting pattern. You see the word truck all over his truck.
Had to make it stand out for the season opening race, of course.
I think Michael Kruger might lead this lap here. It's going to be close. Kruger did lead the lap over Chocano. And now, you know, I'm telling you here, these radius guys, they're kind of backed off a little bit. Those short bus long distance guys are all together. All on the top with Michael Kruger with them. Kruger down to the bottom. Now you got short bus long distance on the top. What are they going to do? You know they're all going to work together.
Yeah, they're going to try and keep running this top lane, keep that momentum going, and get around the 24, 25, and 42. But now they kind of all swap lanes as the 25 with a huge run, slingshotted past Kruger. Now Elias trying to do the same on the radius guys.
Up front, you've got three drivers clear themselves in front of Kruger. That is Elias, Duran, and Chocano. Elias looking high a little bit. He comes back down in front of Kruger. 54, Brian C. Smith, and the 47, Brett Bennett on the outside right now.
Chocano and Duran were making and slicing moves down the front straightaway to get to that lead, and Andrew Elias was behind him. He was drafting with him. He was hooked up so good with their draft, he just followed right around him. And now he's not with his teammates anymore, who are going on around the outside of him as they lap a few trucks, the 80 and the 63.
These guys, I don't think they realize that there's 61 laps to go. They've really turned the heat up. And right now you've got 54, Brian C. Smith leading the outside. Alonso Chocano leading the inside lane. And it is all a teammate race right now. Trying to get the teammates together as Andrew Elias goes down to the bottom, onto the apron, getting back onto the track. Starting to have a 6-truck breakaway.
Duran almost went to the top side there and went around Chocano. He's kind of trying to work this energy for the guys behind him, it looks like there. He's got Joseph Lester now to the outside of him, who used that energy the 24 was giving out, but he's got no help behind him. All the energy on the outside lane, which was Brian C. Smith, dissipated when he shot to the bottom. So that kind of backfired on poor Joseph Lester. The 3 wide tight there behind him.
Lester was able to keep it high, and Brett Bennett, he took the middle and shot off with it. Now Bennett leading the outside lane.
The middle there.
Kruger jumping to the outside behind Bennett. Bennett real tight on the 24, trying to get that side draft. Kruger drops back to the inside. Now Lester getting right back up to the bumper of Bennett with Dalton Kelly right behind. Now dropping down to the bottom. Duran there. A little bit squirrely off turn 2. I'm wondering if these drivers are starting to fight their trucks, not having quite a lot of grip. Tires starting to fade. Now tires, they don't really matter at Daytona, but you will feel a difference in the tires after a while, and I'm wondering here if that is the case. Feeling the tires fade a little bit.
Going to block Bennett and give the inside lane to David Durand and Michael Kruger, and they're going to take it. Sorry to cut you off there, Josh, but they're going to be side by side into turn 1 with the 24 and the 25.
Joseph Lester, he sees a hole on the bottom. He's going to take it. Now the outside. Brett Bennett, he drops down, kind of leaving Chocano hung out to dry, and that is not at all what Chocano wanted to have happen.
Yeah, he's going to plummet all the way to the back of this line because of that, and his damage might not help him in this situation. No, he's going to jump. Close situation there. He cut in front of Dalton Kelly just barely and kind of stacked up Kelly and the 79 of Dawson Allen there, but he got in line when he had to there.
Dalton Kelly looking to the outside. He's so far his lone truck out there. No help from his teammates. Kelly just trying to see what'll work. He now has Lester moving up in front. Help out with that draft. Lester's been aggressive all race long so far. And Lester trying to make a move. Durant's going to block. They're going to be very wide. Leave Michael Kruger.
In the fence again.
Kruger stayed on the bottom. Lester hit the wall.
I think Joseph Lester got put in the fence twice there in about 100 yards.
Yeah,
I'm surprised he managed to keep that truck straight, and everyone ahead of him as well.
He had a couple of taps to that wall, and surprisingly, Durant has the lead. I thought Kruger was going to have it there for sure. Dalton Kelly now looking to the outside with help from Brett Bennett.
Kelly with a huge run there. He's got to push from a teammate, but Durant's going to block it and door slam him. That's not side drafting, that's door slamming.
And that is not what you want to do. If you want to try to get the side draft, you want to make sure not to make contact with the truck on the outside or the truck on the inside, depending on the lane you're in. That was not how to execute a side draft.
Well, even though miraculously they did that in the center of the corner, they both kept vehicles straight, and they are still side by side a lap later at Daytona.
David Arand with the advantage there at the line of Dalton Kelly. With help from Michael Kruger, those short bus long distance drivers start to really form up on the outside. That 24 truck, he's got no friends right around him. The closest one is Alonso Chocano, who is behind the 79, about a truck length back.
See that inside lane's fading real bad with no help on that lane, and Durant kind of swerving back and forth there for a moment. He's killed all their speed. They not going the right way that inside lane, but 45 was able to, and Brett Bennett as well, able to clear. Here comes Durant. He's fighting back though. 42's going to stay hooked up with him even for the tri-oval.
And the 45 and the 47 left their teammate in the 79 left out to dry.
That was a big block on David Durando for the 45, and he's still blocking him, and he's going to lose his teammate with that to the bottom with the lead.
So now you've got 3 short bus long distance guys, 3 vortex radius guys, all together. We're not even halfway yet.
Guys sure aren't racing that way, I'll tell you that.
Oh,
man,
Dawson Allen,
apron.
great save. That forces Chicano to go a little bit high. Michael Kruger still right there with them. Duran looking to the outside. No help from behind. Dawson Allen may have started to go up there, but Allen stays down on the bottom. Big block from the 45 on the 24 once again. Dalton Kelly is proven why he wants to win this race, putting big blocks both times on the 24 of David Durant.
Both times, both parties were lucky to keep their trucks out of that safer area the way that all worked out. But they're still on top 4 here, coming to about halfway here, so long way to go. Everything's single file. We'll see if this heavy racing keeps on going, and as soon as I say that, another move from David Duran, side by side for third, and another pack of trucks out back. That's Brian C. Smith and Andrew Elias shooting up the outside. They were in 11th and 12th, I believe, a lap ago, and they're shooting all the way up here to contend in the top 5.
And Tyler Watermolen.
Tyler Watermolen with them, yeah.
This is starting to really pack up tight. These drivers, they still have a pit stop to look forward to here soon. That outside lane is starting to go away. Everybody's hitting down to the bottom, except for that 45. Dalton Kelly once again putting a huge block on the 24. If you're David Durant, how much do you put up with that? How many more times do you put up with him putting that huge block on you?
Well, in a place like Daytona, you can't really just boot him out of the way, or you're going to end up wrecked. So it's a very tough call there, but we'll see what he does with it. And he's still getting blocked down the back straightaway as they kind of serpentine single file down the super stretch. He's going to make a move again and thinks better of it, kind of fake him out there.
We are approaching the halfway mark at the line. We'll be 50 down, 50 to go in the GJ4MFD 250. We are officially halfway, and Adam, our picks to win are locked. Oh, David Duran down to the apron. Everything's all right. They're all going straight. Duran, he chases it up. He couldn't go all the way up to the wall as he had the 47 to his outside. So Adam,
these four are really going at it up front, Josh.
They absolutely are. But anyway, what I was going to ask you is halfway through this race, our picks to win are locked in. But if you were to have an opportunity to change your pick, would you stay with Kruger, or would you go with somebody else? Brett Bennett, super loose on the plate.
Michael Kruger, obviously not a bad pick, running in 5th right now, but I don't know if I would stay with him or go with one of the SBOD guys. They're looking pretty aggressive, but it might be too aggressive for the end of the race, so I'll stay with with Michael Kruger as we see the SBD guys make very bold moves. It might not work out all the way to the end.
If I had to change my pick, I still like Curfan. Curfan, I think, is playing the safe card right now. I like his strategy. But if I had to change, I would go with Dawson Allen right now. Dawson Allen, I think he is being a little bit more of the conservative of these short bus long distance guys. And he's running 3rd right now. So if I had to change, I'd go with Dawson Allen. I think he's kind of saving his truck a little bit for the next 48 laps. we'll see how that all shakes out. Right now, it's all single file. Dalton Kelly is your leader. What a race so far, Adam.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see it's kind of get strung out a little bit, but it seems like every time we get in kind of a lull, these guys just ramp it right back up and, you know, kind of put all their cards out at once and see what can happen. See Andrew Elias up there all by himself, seeing what he can do with his energy and his 44 truck.
Now that things are a little bit calm for the moment, just a little bit. Actually, never mind. We got pit cycles happening right now.
Bunch of the field coming down. Chocano, Durand, Perfect, all the Radius guys, and the 4 of Joseph Lester.
As well as Noah Mayeri, the 8. So the Radius Vortex guys, the 4 of Lester, and Noah Mayeri in the 8.
Dalton Kelly and SBLD, of course, stay out, and they're going to lead 1, 2, 3, 4 for the moment over Kruger and Michael Smith. Brian Smith, excuse me.
These guys all going. I think the biggest beneficiary from that pit cycle was Joseph Lester. He's going to exit second from this group.
Definitely. It feels like he was one of the last ones coming in, so big gain for him, and they all looked like fuel-only stops, didn't they, Josh?
They did, indeed. And one thing to note is trying to get off pit road is very sketchy when you're on old tires or even 2 tires. These drivers, all of them executed well. They all made it off cleanly, barring any speeding penalties. Meanwhile, in the back from the leaders, right there, right, exiting turn 2, they all stay out, and it's the short bus long distance guys. We'll see how long until these guys come down pit road. And right now, actually, Dalton Kelly coming in hot. Andrew Elias.
Andrew Elias led them down, but Dalton Kelly is going to be the first one to break in deepest, with Brett Bennett following. See the 44 truck mentioned before, he finished 10th in the standings last season. Solid start to his night. Was Dalton Kelly. He was 9th in the championship last year. And the best out of these guys at SBOD, Brett Bennett 7th in standings. They're up front. They've had a solid night tonight, obviously, Josh. Up front for pretty decent portion of this race, controlling the lanes.
Dalton Kelly will be able to lead them off pit road. Here is this pack. They are all the way up to full song already. And it's going to be pretty easy for them to get around these SBLD guys who are still exiting pit road and on the pit road apron where you have to exit. And they're not even lined up, so these guys are easily going to go by. Right now, the only thing that can save the short bus long distance guys is a caution or to get organized quickly and start pushing hard.
Yeah, the Radius Vortex guys were lined up and now coming to and leaving pit road, which helped a ton. And they pitted 2 laps before the SBOD guys, so that was a huge difference in the laps. They were able to be at full speed, like you mentioned, Josh, when they came around, and the SBOD guys were just leaving the pit stalls practically on the apron and only going about 100 miles an hour, and you see just the differentials in these guys, huge gaps between them all.
Tyler Watermull, Daytona winner. He is all alone, no help, as well as Dawson Allen. You see them in the back with no help. Dawson Allen is a little bit closer. Michael Kruger, he is trying hard to stay with help, but he's not able to. Meanwhile, short bus long distance guys, I'm surprised that a lot of them come back up this quickly.
Yeah, we see Bennett, Kelly, and Brian Smith. They were able to slingshot to these guys really quick and get it to them in side by side as you see Kerfin pull out of line and move towards the back of this line. And like I mentioned, as they were pitting, they've been pretty dominant tonight, and I'm surprised, like you mentioned, how quick they were able to get to the Radius guys. And they just took it to the top, and they're able to hang there even with less vehicles, and even though they're not as close as the other trucks. You see Andrew Elias now coming into fray.
This actually really shocks me to see. But they're just, saying, hey, this isn't a Radius Vortex win, guaranteed. Alonso Chocano, he goes to the outside, just kind of hands the lead to David Durant. I'm not so sure. Alonso just felt like he was better off handing the lead away.
Yeah, Durand and Caldwell moving the flat. They're moving out of the way too. They just want to get some laps in and log around, it looks like now. 42 laps to go. They just kind of want to ride, it seems like.
Interesting strategy there out of the Vortex Radius guys. So now you got Dalton Kelly with the lead, Brett Bennett third, Brian C. Smith sorry, I messed that up. Doesn't matter anyway, they are 2x2 for the lead, with Brian C. Smith on the outside, leading that lane with the 44 of Andrew Elias. Right behind him. And they are easily going to clear the 45 and the 47 of Kelly and Bennett.
Just disorganized right now at this moment. It's just kind of all separated. It seems like everyone wants to get paired with who they want to be with at the end of the race, but it's kind of taken a moment for that to happen, obviously, and really put a law to this moment with the separation, but you see everyone's kind of, no one's really separated too far except for Paul, Dawson Allen, and Tyler Watermore, who got separated out of line with the pit stops, but 11 truck line here, single file now around Daytona.
Now that pit cycles have completed, let's go ahead and go to turn it up. 37 laps to go. GJ4MFD 250. Andrew Elias, we saw take the lead there. He now leads teammates Dalton Kelly, Brett Bennett, and Brian C. Smith behind. And his number 44 truck. First driver, not a short bus long distance. Driver is Alonso Chocano running in fifth place. His number 25 grid truck. Alonso, he does have a little bit of damage, but he's proved that hasn't slowed him down any. He's led some laps. Currently, P5, Joseph Lester just behind him. Tucked in behind him. They're catching lap truck of Nick Gornick. Andrew Elias to the outside, giving some draft. Everybody else pulled down.
Pay the price for that. He's going to lose the top spot, but only lose one spot because he's got those teammates right behind him, able to create a little gap from the tucking line. Seems like the SPLG guys are just kind of swapping the lead back and forth, kind of letting the pool, right around here. Long way to go, as we mentioned.
There are 35 laps to go. We've only had one caution, which was for an accident that ended stage 1. Alexander Kerfan taking the stage win to start off the season. That is his first stage victory, as it's the only stage victory that we have seen. The only stage we've seen in this new Truck Series. So a little bit of bragging rights for Kerfan. So he gets to see the first stage that the end of its new Truck Series is at. A lot of these drivers have a little bit of damage in some way or another, but one thing to note is that 44 truck is clean. See just a little bit of left front damage on the front of number 45 of Dalton Kelly. That's not slowing him down at all.
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, Andrew Elias 10th in the standings last year. But that Kane was really good. He didn't start until the second half of the season, so he came out of nowhere to do that. And in my opinion, really impressive for the season. He had 2 top 5s and he finished runner-up at Milwaukee Lions. Pretty decent season for him for only running a handful of races and still being able to get into the standings. You see, running P2 right now, so pretty good start for his in the Pit Snooze Truck Series career.
Lots of Chicano looking to the outside. Going out there, allowing Joseph Lester to take over the 5th spot. Maybe. So Lester can't quite get side by side. I think Lester just left the hole there for Chicano to get back in. Onboard view from Joseph Lester, and you can see a little bit, of the hood damage that he has on his truck, on both the left front and the right front. And that is in his eyesight, so he can see that damage. while he's driving. You know, a track like Daytona, that is a little bit discouraging. But he's running 6th place, still doing good, and I think that they slowing him down a bit.
Top 4 kind of getting separated just a little bit. All teammates, that would be very advantageous to them if they are able to separate themselves from 5th place Alonso Chocano, who we mentioned damage on him, damage on 6th place Joseph Lester. So that's definitely not helping that group 5th on back as these top 4 start to separate, and you see a little bit of a gap from between the 25 and the 4 as well. So this could be really bad for all those guys just kind of logging laps if the SBLD guys get too far out here.
We see Duran right up there on the bumper of the 4 of Lester. Chocano closed the gap between himself and the 54, Brian C. Smith. Chocano went down to the apron as well as Lester. That separated Chocano from Brian C. Smith. It brought Chocano right to Lester. Now they're starting to close that gap. These guys are all single file all the way down to 11th place. And the Radius guys are coming down pit road with Joseph Lester. "28 laps to go in the race. And I was not expecting this.
Well, once again, they do pit at least a lap before the SBLD guys, so this does put them ahead again in that terms. We'll see how much longer the other guys go on in terms of pit stops here, and how they separate again. And once again, Joseph Lester, second out of these guys to leave pit road.
And here comes the SBLD guys, and they are all spread out. If the Radius Vortex guys get together, this may hurt the SBLD guys. Caldwell is way out there. Chocano to the outside of the 4. These guys are not organized at all, and that is not at all what they want to see. Especially now that the SBLD guys are exiting pit road. Kelly and Bennett are together. Kelly almost with the penalty there of entering the track too soon. He keeps it below that apron. That's what that blue cone signifies. As soon as you pass that cone, you can go up onto the track. Here comes the Radius guys. They are all the way up to full song now with the SBLD guys still trying to get there. Caldwell behind his teammates.
See the difference in the lap that last time it was on pit exit where they met. Now it's into turn 3 and 4 where they're going to seem, maybe even down the first straightaway where they seem to cross paths. Kind of a block there. They kind of get around Andrew Elias with the lap truck as a pick. Now they kind of set their sights on Brian C. Smith up ahead.
And the Radius guys, they are formed with some of the SBLD guys. Whereas there's a lot of SBLD guys that are separated up front. This back is going to catch them. 26 laps to go. It's only a matter of time before they're all back together. Here you see Alonso Chocano trying to get the side draft down on the 44. Andrew Elias, who gets loose. And those Radius Vortex guys, they are hard charging on that outside.
Chocano's going to go right around Brett Bennett with a push and curve fan there, but they're going to fight back on the bottom off of 2 here. We'll see how many Radius trucks are able to clear that inside lane, if multiple. It looks like, for the moment, Chocano he's not going to take it by himself. And actually, he does for the last... Oh, he's going to pay the price when he spins in front of the field.
And, wow, Durant flipping. The only truck that escapes from this is Brett Bennett.
Cameron Caldwell escapes after Tokyo drifting turn 3 and 4, but a huge pile up into turn 3. A bad block for Alonso Chocano ends with a huge wad of trucks on the hook in turn 3.
And Joseph Lester almost able to get out of it.
Chocano with a huge push from Alexander Griffin just went to go block Brett Bennett and wasn't clear.
Wow. That was
What
the
a view.
onboard of Joseph Lester.
He's been in quite a few moments here tonight, that Ford truck.
Yeah, it's not been his night, but he is still doing pretty good for what he has. Currently P4. That truck
How is
has
the
been
24 truck still rolling after tumbling about a dozen times in turn 3?
Man, that honestly that is insane because he was barrel rolling hard. And the fact that he is still rolling is amazing, especially that he has scored 6th place right now.
Definitely doesn't look like race-ending damage on his truck either, so we can see him contending for the win still after that.
2 drivers stayed out here, Adam. Noah Mayuri and Michael Kruger.
It'll be very interesting to see here. We got 68 also. Oh, he went down a lap and all that. Seems like. Oh, they lost the draft. That's right. Excuse me. Sorry. Ignore me.
Brad Bennett is the first truck off pit road. Everybody is still on pit road getting damage. I expected Brad Bennett to be the first one off pit road. I did not expect that everybody would still be on pit road at this time, as nobody has moved yet. So currently, 3 trucks are rolling that are on the lead lap.
Well, that's not too much of a surprise considering almost everyone was collected in some way. Either knocked into or onto or by, and that melee in 2 and 3 a moment ago. There's the 25 of Chocano. He's rolling a lot more damage sustained to his grid vortex machine.
45. 44. 63 is rolling. He is still scored a lap down. The 30 is rolling, as well as the 4, the 24, the 12. And it is 1 to green. So these guys, they've got to put the loud pedal on to be able to catch up to the field for the green flag. Tyler Watermullen will get a wave around. Noah Mayuri, he chooses the bottom. And And Michael Kruger chose the top.
Honestly surprised Kruger chose the top, considering there's only, at the moment, 3 trucks up here lined up this restart, and very well could be, not the full field here, so actually the restart's been waved off as you see the lights back up on the safety truck, so we will not go back green this time.
And some drivers have elected to come back down to pit road. 24 and the 12. And they're going to have to hurry here, because pace car is in the middle of turn 4 right now. See those 2 drivers still sitting on pit road. Pace car is off turn 4, right at pit entry. 12 is rolling. 24 is still sitting there. Now he starts to go.
Want to clean something up I said earlier in the race. I said Noah Mayeri didn't get the win Homestead Miami. It was wrong, he was, but he was just so far ahead of everyone, kind of blew the water out of everyone else competition. So Peak Performance Motorsports ended the season with a win last year. He's a rookie contender this year, that being his only start in the Pits News Truck Series. So let's see if he can go 2 for 2. Lines up on the front row for this restart in the final 20 laps. Let's see what he can do. He's got Michael Kruger now behind him. He chose the bottom this time, lined up behind the 8. So that gives Brett Bennett the outside, and he's going to have a teammate out there with him, Josh.
And we are going to restart with 20 to go in the GJ4MFD 250. This is a 100-lap event. We have completed 79 laps in this race. This is only the second caution. And right now we are tied with the amount of cautions we had to start off last season with 2. Can these guys go 20 laps without having another yellow?
I'm not so sure. Could be close. It depends on how this restart goes. It's nice and calm. Actually, I don't matter how this restart goes. It depends how the last 2 laps go, really, Josh. But pace truck's about to pull off, and we'll see what happens here. Got a lot of new names up front. Noah Mayer's been a lap down for almost all this race, so we'll see what he does here.
And Noah Mayer leads them to the green. The outside doesn't get the greatest start. Michael Kruger right there with the number 8. Getting a good push from the 25 of Alonso Chocano. Those bottom 3 are linked together pretty well. Now Andrew Elias, he leaves his teammate out to dry. He pulls down to the bottom. Now it's just Brett Bennett on the outside.
Saw the 63 of Nick Dornick there.
Oh, there we go! Noah Mayer in the
no!
wall. Andrew Elias around, as well as Brett Bennett. Everybody else stays out of it. And we have our 3rd caution.
That was innocent for Noah Mayer there. He just got hooked. It was just classic bumper hook, it looked like there, and he is done for the night. It looks like he rode that outside safer barrier for almost the second half of that back straightaway, all the way into turn 3.
Oh, wow. David Arand was coming in hot there. Lucky those 2 didn't make contact.
How skewed the truck was there coming back into the pit road. Big time damage to the right side of that number 8, like I mentioned. Lap down most of this race. He lost the lead draft. What was it, lap 4 or 5? Lost a lap in that opening stage, never got it back until right now. And now he's got throwing up number 8 truck.
And I believe Dawson Allen is going to be the lucky dog here and put Dawson Allen back on the lead lap. Meanwhile, as far as our picks to win, Michael Kruger, your pick is in first. Alexander Kerfan, mine, is in fourth. Dawson Allen, he still has a clean truck. Brad Bennett coming down pit road. Dalton Kelly, David Duran, Joseph Lester behind. Dawson Allen is the lucky dog. He's going to take his way around.
Kruger, who was, of course, involved in that with Mary a moment ago, leads. We're very curious to see if that number 42 has any right front damage. I wouldn't think so, considering the way that incident looked, but he's got the lead, got clean air. We'll see if his truck handles any differently now that he's got, after making that contact there. So, obviously a very solid night so far for Kruger.
One of the drivers that was in the race, Joseph Lester. Joseph, your race, it's over, but you put up a pretty good fight there. What happened ultimately out there? How was it feeling?
Well, the truck just didn't handle right from the very beginning. Got into Alonso after that. It just lacked straightaway speed. Then I guess that caution that brought out the stage, it just plowed tight into him, and then the field wrecked and I had nowhere to go.
It's been an unfortunate night for your race so well altogether. But you were able to stick with it even after that first caution. Still up there. How much different was the truck handling after that?
It just didn't turn right on entry of the corners. It just plowed right into the guy beside me if somebody got beside me. So if I ever did have the full power, I would be on the top. But nobody really wanted to go up there, so I was stuck on the bottom and plowing.
Definitely an unfortunate end to your race. Did a great job out there for the most part. Unfortunately, your day is done.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. It's Daytona, not my best super speedway.
That was Joseph Lester, driver of the number 4 truck. We're getting ready to go back green here. Michael Kruger chose the bottom. Cameron Caldwell choosing the top. Kerfan taking the bottom, and I'm wondering if Alonso Chocano actually got a penalty there, because he was right there. He was supposed to be the second truck to choose. He chose and then went to the back.
Yeah, very much looked like a choose cone penalty. He pulled right off, right past finish line, so right off into the entrance of turn 1. Pace truck's off, Josh.
And green flag is waving. It does not look like a great start from either the 42 or the 12. I'm thinking Kruger spun his tires a little bit, got sideways. That is going to help Cameron Caldwell now, with help from Andrew Elias. Michael Kruger.
Neither lane organized at all. Kruger has no help at all, Josh.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was about to say there. Kruger, he's fading back. They're trying to wreck. Everybody's still going straight. Bennett may have gotten in the wall there.
Nick Dorna got bounced to the bottom. He's 4 laps down just trying to ride around, and he got bounced into someone. And he was able to keep the truck straight. Caldwell was clear of Elias for that lead, and he jumped to the bottom over Kruger.
Caldwell controlling this race. He's got no teammates behind him. SBLD on the outside. Kruger right there with Caldwell on the bottom. Caldwell still controlling this race. 15 laps to go.
Teammates up top are going to have a huge shot at getting this lead here, especially with Kruger super wobbly there off the exit of 2. You can hear Andrew Elias peeking to the lead right now. He's got to push Brett Bennett and Brian Smith right now down the back. Excuse me, Dawson Allen.
Dawson Allen is the third truck in line. We saw earlier where 2 of his teammates, when they were able to get clear, they pulled to the bottom and left Dawson Allen out to dry. Wonder if they're able to clear Caldwell. They might do the same thing or wait for Dawson Allen, who still has a clean truck. Dawson Allen has been a lap down for the last majority of the race. He's sitting here in a good position. Third on the outside lane. That outside lane has started to fade back as the 12, Cameron Caldwell, has been able to clear the 44. Michael Kruger steps out of line a little bit. That's going to help the outside lane.
Big moment there down the back straightaway. Caldwell kind of, Elias takes to the bottom with the lead. Bunch of moments there for Caldwell. Got wobbly down the back and he got pushed kind of off the track by the 42. They keep it going the right way. And now you mentioned it, Josh. Dawson Allen left by himself by his 2 teammates yet again. It happened. You bastard of a word. And it unfortunately does for the driver of the 79.
And he has no help from behind. Not even some trucks a little ways back. I think Brett Bennett wanted to come up to help, but he wasn't clear. Dawson Allen's still out there all by himself.
If it works out timely, he has a 6D of Tyler Watermelon, who he was stuck a lap down with for a good portion of this race, right behind 42 there in 4th position. So we'll see if he can aid his teammate. If he needs to, he's got to push from Chocano now, coming to him here.
Chocano, we've seen him be an aggressive pusher, and you know, Chocano kind of reminds me of Joey Logano in a way when they come to a track like Daytona Talladega. Always pushing, always trying to find a way to the front. Alonso Chocano, he is very smart at these kind of races. And right now, he is pushing hard to get Dawson Allen out there. And Dawson Allen actually will have the lead.
Yeah, he just got a huge shot from Chocano and just shot down the inside of Dawson Allen. Excuse me, chopped down the 44 of Andrew Elias, who is not having any. He's gonna hug him.
Oh man, tough break for Dawson Allen. Just got back to the lead lap. Just got to lead.
No caution as he spun through the infield's bus stop, and Elias is gonna drop a ton of spots now too.
Which is gonna hand the lead to the driver of the number 25, last year's championship runner-up and the winner of Daytona last year, Alonso Chocano.
That was just a Daytona move, it seemed like, on the back straightaway. Elias had the momentum. He went to block went to go to the inside of the 79, and the 79 was just coming down already. He was committed, and the 2 just crossed paths, and unfortunately his teammates going at it once again, and it just hooked the 79 into the infield.
Alonso Chocano controlling this race now. Brett Bennett behind. Michael Kruger third. Side-by-side battle for 4th between the number 24 of David Duran and the 68 of Tyler Watermelon. The driver that won Talladega, he's got help from teammate Andrew Elias. Now Kruger steps outside. A little bit of a blink there out of the 68. Kruger on the move to the front. 10 laps to go.
Huge energy from the 42 to get clear of that 25 for a moment like that, but it's all going to go away in the corner as the inside lane has more traffic in it. They just got to get built up together and closer together for that top lane to do anything to challenge for the win here.
Michael Kruger holding strong on the outside. Only 3 trucks on that outside. Like you said, bottom has more of an advantage. Brett Bennett a little bit on the apron. That's going to hurt the bottom lane. But the top has no energy now. They're all separated. Brett Bennett sticking right behind the 25. He has an opening, but that outside lane is fading back. Andrew Elias down at the bottom. Tyler Watermole and Kruger. Now Durand and Caldwell move to the outside.
Nick Dornick pushed right into the middle of this fight. The 63 is 4 laps down, so he's not in the fight for the win, but he's going to be in the way and play a huge role in the factor of who comes away with this victory at the rate like this. And he's third in line on the inside, pushing Alonso Chocano and Brett Bennett, who are up front right now. That outside lane's attempt did not do anything there, Josh. Both Justin Durand and Cam Caldwell, David Durand and Cam Caldwell all the way to the back.
And Nick Dornick racing on the outside. He's getting a little bit wide there as Brett Bennett gets a little bit wide. You see there Nick Dornick leading the outside lane. Again, he is laps down, so this is not for him to take the lead, but he is out there helping teammates and David Durand and Cameron Caldwell. .25, Alonso Chocano still controlling this race. Coming to 7 laps to go. Andrew Elias, a little bit squirrely there, trying to look to the outside. Not able to make the move now. Nick Dornick having a strong run on the outside to drag his teammates along with him.
Right now, this is the perfect move for Radius Racing. If Dornick could have stayed where he is, but got tight, and he's going to hold up the 24 and the 12. That would have been perfect if he stayed where he was, because he was blocking the SBOD guys from making a move on Chocano. Now Chocano's a sitting duck up there all by himself with 3 teammates lined up, 7 laps to go.
And Andrew Elias is fading back a little bit, trying to go back to his teammate, the 68. Getting a run off turn 4. He's going to take it to the outside. Watermolen.
He had no help, so he has to go back in line and try to reform that energy.
Watermolen did go out there, but I think it was just kind of bad timing out of the run that they had. And now Brett Bennett is getting off of the bumper of the 25. Michael Kruger to the outside with Andrew Elias now.
Huge run down the back straightaway. They're going to need more than 2 trucks really to threat for this win, but they have a huge shot at it right now for at least taking the lead. Andrew Elias can take it right now if he wants to lead. Ditch Kruger, he's going to do it. The 42 is going to be by himself, but there's a new leader up front, Josh.
Great job out of Andrew Elias. He saw an opportunity. He took it. Now Alonso Chocano looking to the outside with help from Kruger. All of the Radius guys go to the outside now. Kruger is the only one on the outside that's not Radius related.
Chocano didn't want to have anything to do with staying in line. He's back to the front by Willis on the outside. He's going to go right back to the bottom, blocking the 44.
And now that there is a Radius affiliated truck out front, is Radius driver Cameron Caldwell going to help push the 42 around his own teammate?
5 laps to go. You have to help yourself right now, and the only way Caldwell helps himself is pushing the 42 past the 25. Huge moment though. Kruger's going to block Chocano now. So Caldwell's leading that outside push. He's got a push from Dornick, like we mentioned. He's laps down.
And I think Kruger may have gotten out there a little bit too far, but Chocano's not going to be able to make a move because he has Cameron Caldwell to his outside. Had to tuck in the line there. They're rucking behind. Hard impact into the wall.
Chocano got hooked around in front of the field, and that took out a lot of the Radius trucks. And that's the fear of this type of racing, and more damage to that 25 truck. Hooked from the lead, I believe. And Caldwell was around, involved. There was David Durand.
Let's go ahead and take a look back and see what happened here. Oh, Andrew Elias just moved up a little bit.
Just a little bit of contact from Andrew Elias in second place, Alonso Chocano, and sent him right around. Right in the track, like I mentioned earlier, lightest part of the track for these trucks, and just shot him around.
Man, this race, it's going to be green, white, checkered, I believe. And Michael Kruger, with one of the cleanest trucks left, is going to be out front.
Somehow, he's been right in the mix of it all. He was able to be out in front of that last incident, but the rest of them, he's been right in the middle of them and able to, as you mentioned, clean truck so far. And that beautiful Johnny Benson throwback truck.
The lucky dog is going to be Dalton Kelly, but you know what? I think we actually have two lucky dogs, and I'm not talking about the rule of the lucky dog rule. I'm saying just in general, Dawson Allen, who was running up front with a clean truck, he stayed on the lead lap, but he's going to be able to catch back up to the pack. Dalton Kelly, he's going to get his lap back. So ultimately, I think, you know, you could say Dawson Allen is a lucky dog just by having that caution and get back up there with the pack.
Oh, absolutely. Dawson Allen is very grateful the caution came out with 5 to go and not 1 to go like it did last season. So at least he's back in shot at it. And he's got teammates up there, so he's not out of it yet. He's very lucky, like I mentioned, that the caution came out when it did for him.
And
put him back right in the mix.
79 truck still looks relatively clean. A little bit of scratches on the left side of his truck. He is going to come down pit road. As pit road is open, it looks like the 42 of Kruger stays out, as well as 44 of Elias. And Alexander Kerfan stays out as well. You just saw Dalton Kelly going around to get his lap back. This is still anybody's race.
Absolutely. Even the damaged trucks that are left, like this one, he could still be in it. Even though he flipped about 20 times 20 laps ago, he's still in it. He still has a shot. Especially if he can get back going after this most recent caution. I believe there's a little bit of bad smoke there. I hope I didn't just jinx him, but we'll see if that 24 truck can get back out there. With so few trucks in general, the damaged trucks really are going to play a huge role in that last restart, don't you think, Josh?
Most definitely. Dawson Allen is going to be off pit road, so this is going to put him in 4th place. As crazy as that sounds, that this truck had the lead, spun out, was in the grass, rarely has any damage, is going to be in 4th place. When we go back green, which will be overtime, we are officially going to be in overtime with the first attempt at a green, white, checkered. See here, they're coming to the line to choose. 42 of Kruger makes it very, very known which lane he wants to pick as he goes all the way down to the apron. And that's not out of bounds. That is right in bounds to choose the lane. Kerfan was the first one to choose the outside after Andrew Elias also took the inside. Nick Gornick, 4 laps down, but he does get to choose as well. He's going to be on the outside. I think, though, might have to allow Dawson Allen through if Dawson gets the top. Dawson looks like he's going to be on the bottom, though, with Brian C. Smith behind.
Meanwhile, we see on the leaderboard, Alonso Chocano has retired from this race after that wicked crash from running in 2nd place when that happened in the final 5 laps. So very unfortunate for the reigning champion of this race.
We are going to go back green this time by Dalton Kelly. Not caught up with the field quite yet. I'm not sure he's going to get there. Dalton Kelly just now entering 3. These guys exiting 4. pace truck is making that hard left turn. Michael Kruger is the control truck. Dalton Kelly might have actually just got back there in time. Green flag is waving. Kruger with a great start. Kerfan with a great start.
Side by side on the one, Kerfan does not have the best of launches. He's going to need a lot of help from his lapped teammate here, revving up through 1 and 2. This is the SBLD trucks get hooked up on the bottom behind Kruger down the back straightaway here.
And that outside lane is generating momentum here. As
Elias almost shot up through the middle there for a moment.
yeah, well, Elias, he is just kind of squirrely all over there. And right now, Michael Kruger is loving this because he knows the outside lane isn't getting a run. And Elias can't get clear to make a move. White flag is going to wave. Michael Kruger with the lead here. He controls this. And this is still anybody's race.
Kruger clear of Kerfan by much on the outside lane. Elias squirrely on the outside, that's on the inside, excuse me. Checked up Dawson Allen a ton. Give a little bit of a gap between second and third on the bottom now. Kerfan trying to get a little bit of slingshot. Kruger blocking both lanes. Huge run for the 30 on the top.
And it is your pick against my pick. Top 2 spots for the win. Entering turn 3.
That. Here comes Elias. Will he have a challenge here between these two, though? Kerfan just needs a little bit more of a push on that top side. He's not getting it. Off of 4 for the final time.
Elias is all over the place, but it ain't going to be enough. Michael Kruger with the win in the GJ4MFD 250. Big win for Kruger.
Cleanest truck on the track, able to take the checkered flag with one of the squirreliest truck on the track right behind him, lifting up that rear tailgate. 42 truck going to victory lane tonight, Josh.
Wow. What a win for Kruger.
Just his 3rd start in this series, and I mentioned top of the show, really. His first race was Richmond, P5. Second race, Talladega, led a ton of laps. Was up front all race into a crash. And now tonight, gets a win. What better way to do it?
That is an amazing job, an amazing win, and he's starting the season off right.
The way they all sorted out off of turn 4, Alex Kerfan went from 2nd to 4th there, with Elias and Dawson Allen taking 2nd and 3rd, Josh.
Wow, that was an awesome race, Adam.
Absolutely, one of the best Daytona races we've seen here in this series. So, pretty solid run there for Mike Kruger. Really great finish there at the end, blocking all the lanes he had to. Almost hurt him a couple times. We saw it backfire on a few people, but he managed the lanes perfectly.
Let's go ahead and bring in 3rd place finisher Dawson Allen. Dawson, it's Josh up in the JCTV booth. I don't know whether I want to say you had a great race, to finish third or not. It was up and down. I'm kind of surprised you finished third, but great execution, great job staying in it, and good job finishing third. But when you took the lead and then you know got sideways and turned down the backstretch, what was the mindset like? I mean,
Yeah, we it was a battle all night. From that first green flag pit stop, I ended up losing the draft with my teammates, and then the second one, I ended up getting I sped on entry, so I ended up getting held there. Just barely held on to that one lap down, and was able to kind of keep fighting, get back. But no, I got to the lead. I was in front of Andrew, and I thought I was clear coming down, and I just did not expect the big run he had, and I spun myself. So yeah, no, this was. I would say it's a good race overall. I mean, able to bounce back multiple times despite what happened, and just we kept fighting and we kept going.
that last restart there, you had the bottom. It was green, white, checkered. What ultimately was it going to take for you to get that win? You kind of were stuck on the bottom there, but is there anything you might have been able to do to get around?
I mean, yeah, shoulda, coulda, woulda. I could have definitely done a couple of different things, but I told Andrew coming to 2 to green, I said I was going to stick with him no matter what he did. So if he tried to go for the win, I'd go with him. But he decided to stick it with the 42 with Michael, which again, congrats to him. Great win for him in the 42. But he decided to stick with him, so I stuck right behind Andrew. So figured I'd take a 3rd place finish than getting wrecked out and finishing like 7th.
Well, is there any sponsors, team shout-outs you'd like to give? Who gets it done for you?
Well, I'd like to shout out, everybody from the team. We had Andrew, Dalton, Danny made it out for the race tonight, Brian, Tyler, Brett, obviously. Everybody a part of the team. Those that weren't here tonight, like Jeffrey, and Matthew. Everybody that watches with us. It's an unbelievable experience, and I'm so thankful for this team. Obviously, Bluebird for the buses. Fast buses there, and shout out for the leukemia awareness. Today is a very special day for me, so being able to go out and finish top 3 really means something to me.
All right, well, congrats on the 3rd place finish, and a great race.
All right, thank you.
That was Dawson Allen, driver of the number 79 truck, and Adam, I believe you've got up with our 2nd place finisher.
Yeah, Andrew Elias, 2nd place tonight in the bright yellow number 44 trucks. How was it out there tonight and that last restart?
Hey, it was pretty good out there. Decided to get down low on that last restart because Michael didn't look like he didn't have any damage, so I wanted to go and get behind him because I knew if I was out front on the outside line, I'd be dropping like a rock.
What you need to get around him there on that last restart and fight for the win?
I don't think I had anything. If I had that outside line clear, I probably, could have gave it a try, but, honestly, probably would have fell back 4 or 5 positions doing so. So just with the damage on my truck, I was okay hanging out in 2nd and pushing Michael through the win. He's a good guy.
Yeah, so how was it out there tonight, racing all your teammates and stuff, and having the control of the race for the most part?
It felt good. Like we had communications with the pits. I was super conservative getting on pit road, so I probably could do a lot better with that. I feel real bad about coming together and wrecking Cam and Alonso at the end there. I honestly didn't mean to do that.
Do you have any shout-outs for tonight's race after a great run tonight?
Probably just Coors Light.
Alright, sounds great.
Just wish I could have won so we can get Josh chugging a beer or 2.
That would have been funny. Poor Jade Buford couldn't join us, though. Thanks for a great night tonight, and thanks for your time, and congrats.
You too, Ed.
That was driver of the number 44 Andrew Elias finished second. I'm down in victory lane with the winner, Michael Kruger. What a race.
Oh my god, I can't believe it, Josh. Like, unbelievable, unbelievable. I mean, I cannot believe it at all for this race. I can't believe it. I thought on those last pit stops, I thought I was done for. I couldn't believe it. That last caution, the caution with the wreck, absolutely helped me. I mean, I slid my pit box twice under green. I mean, I was probably the worst pit boxer ever. Like, I can't even believe this happened. Like, I'm so shocked and so thankful to have won this race and to race with all these guys. I mean, this is an absolute blast. I'm lost for words.
That last restart, you controlled it the entire time. The outside lane had a little bit of a run, but they weren't really able to do anything. You stuck right on the bottom. Was there anything that, if they had gotten a run, were you thinking of an aggressive move to block them? Just, try to keep your 42 truck in the lead?
I mean, I just stuck it on the bottom there. I mean, I wasn't going to leave the bottom. I mean, I was very tempted too when I saw Kerfan getting that big help from Brett Bennett there. I mean, I knew those guys would be a threat, and I saw them pulling up. I was worried of making a move or not, but I stuck to the bottom with Andrew Willis there. I mean, he was loyal on the bottom. I mean, he helped push me all the way. I mean, it didn't really cross my mind really to block up high till probably down the backstretch on the last lap, but I stuck to the bottom there instead. I mean, again, I have to shout out to Andrew Willis. I mean, he helped me, pushed me all the way to the front there. He told me he had some damage, but he still stuck it out. I mean, thank you to him. I mean, it was just awesome, really, to get it done. I mean, Andrew said that like if he pulled out, he couldn't do it. So like, Andrew really gave me the big help there to give me the win. Honestly, he kind of deserves some of this win too.
What's going to be how are you going to celebrate tonight?
Dude, I have no idea. I have absolutely no clue how to celebrate this. I mean, also, I was completely freaking lost there when I just crossed the checkers there. I couldn't believe it there. Also, I have to give a quick shout out to the 80 of Wesley Rose. Me and him were going to work together in the race. He got took out early after a little checkup. But he stuck with me as spotter. Dude, this guy spotted for me and helped guide me through and lift me up when I was down. I mean, this guy also deserves part of the win too. Like, he should honestly be celebrating with me too as well. Like, he kept pushing me, coaching me up whenever I was down, and whenever I made mistakes, I really kind of beat myself up for me. This is just awesome. I mean, having Wesley just help me like that, so really just give me the spirit to really just make the moves and give me the confidence of making these moves, a clear high, clear low, all this stuff. Like, I mean, Wesley Rose deserves credit for this stuff too.
Is there any, sponsors or other team shout outs you'd like to give? Who gets it done for you behind the 42?
Well, I mean, of course I did get it done, but I do have to give again another shout out to Wesley Rose again for spotting me, coaching me up for my downs and mistakes. I do have to give shout outs to Andrew Willis, and last but not least, I do have to make a big shout out to Alonso Chocano. This man invited me to this league. He openly invited me. And I dropped out of league racing for a bit, but he invited me, welcomed me into this thing. And I mean, I was glad to race here. And I thought maybe the first race or two, I'd think about where I'd stand for this league. But I'm pretty sure after tonight, I think I want to go full time for the season.
All right, well, congrats on a huge victory at Daytona, of all places.
Yeah, thank you again, Josh and Adam and all the guys in the broadcast booth. Fun race. Right now I'm a free agent. I got no team, and I mean, I don't mean to make a big deal, but like, I'm kind of motivated to kind of just race for any team. I don't care who. I'll race for anyone, anybody. Like, and I mean, not. I mean, I'm just a free agent, but I want to just prove in this league that I can compete. And I was glad tonight to show that I can really compete with some of these guys up here. And I'm also like, but again, I'm just thankful to run this league and be handed the opportunity to do all this.
All right. Well, that was winner of tonight's event, driver number 42, Michael Kruger. Very ecstatic after that win. And you know, this is the what you know how you start your season is based off how you run Daytona. You can start your season off extremely well or start it off extremely bad. And for Michael Kruger, he's going to start it off extremely well, have the win next to his name. He gets to call himself an ITPN News Truck Series winner. And for him, he's going to have a lot of momentum for the rest of the season.
Yeah, so we had breaking news right there in victory lane. He's gonna try and run as many races as he can now, and that's great for him. Obviously, leading the points right now, I believe he would be the way things should cycle out right now. But top of the game, coming out with this, how great for him. No better way to start the season, as you mentioned, and as he sounded, sound like he's very happy for it. So that's great to see a lot of emotion from that. He sounded like he was down and out throughout that. So very cool to see first time winner like this again.
And I think he deserves to be on a team, have some teammates out there, and it'll be interesting to see if he does get picked up by a team before the start of next week. Well, Adam, that this race, it was an up and down race for pretty much everybody. Last time we started off the winter season, Alonso Chocano dominated, leading 49 of the 100 laps. Tonight, there was really no domination out of one particular person, but rather just between short bus long distance and radius racing, Vortex kind of swapping it back and forth. And we had a free agent win the race. So
yeah, I think that's really just a factor. Excuse me, Josh, of this really just being a little bit of a smaller field, and everyone being super tight and close of competitiveness, and we saw at least two crashes that kind of damaged good size of the field, so that kind of threw things back into playing into everyone who was left. If you were able to keep on going, you were kind of all equal with all the damage sustained to everyone. Minus those top two who were able to escape without damage and come home away with the win and runner up.
And talking about, just escaping damage, pretty much everybody got some damage in some sort of way tonight. It came down to who had the least amount of damage to be able to be out there and compete for the win when it mattered the most. And that was the end of the race here at lap 102 was the official distance tonight. Well, before we wrap it up, our unofficial results here. Michael Kruger gets the victory tonight in the GJ4MFD 250. Andrew Willias second, Dawson Allen third, Alexander Kerfan fourth, and Cameron Caldwell starting off the season with fifth place finish.
Don Kelly ended up in P6 tonight, with Brett Bennett 7th. Joseph Lester, we talked to him earlier. He ended up 8th. Alonso Chocano, unfortunately, ends 9th, with Tyler Waterman, rounding out the top 10 positions.
David Durand finished out in 11th. Nick Dornick in 12th position. Noah Mayuri, who had a quiet night and then found himself up to the front before being involved in an accident, finished 13th. Brian C. Smith, who was up front all night long, takes home 14th. And pole winner Justin Durand finishes 15th.
16th is winning spotter, as you heard there from the post-race interview, Wesley Rose. 17th, Daniel Suprowski, and his debut as well as the 80 truck. And Carl Felver, unfortunately, ends the race in last after flying to the moon briefly earlier after being in the lead when that crash actually occurred. So, unfortunate night for him. A very short go.
Well, that wraps it up from Daytona. Next week, you see here on the schedule, we go to Charlotte for 134 laps around the 1.5 mile track in North Carolina. Should be a good one there.
Yeah, first trip to that 1.5 mile, like you mentioned. So, very narrow off the corners, so it should be very interesting with these trucks. First of 2 trips to that speedway this year, Josh.
Yeah, as you said, first of 2 trips there. The other one going to be June 11th. It's actually going to be at the Roval. So they are going to be on the Charlotte Oval course next week and then visiting the Roval on June 11th. That is going to wrap it up from us here at JCTV. Big win for Michael Kruger once again. And you heard there in his interview how excited he was. And I don't know how he's going to party, but I might want to join him because from the way he sounds, he sounds like he's going to party pretty well tonight, Adam. But that is going to do it here on behalf of all of us at JCTV. Adam Kuhn, Nick Dornick for coming into the booth for the pre-show. All the admins. Cameron, Alonso, and all the team owners. JCTV, and the Pits News, MartinPC.com, GJ4MFD. That's going to do it from Daytona International Speedway. We'll see you next week at Charlotte. Take care. Stay safe.